Well, good morning everyone and welcome back to Mr. Bravo's workshop, and I hope you are all well this morning. It is actually morning this time, and hopefully we can have a better crack at this after the last couple of episodes. I think we're up to episode 4 now, could be 5, and they haven't been going so smooth. Anyway, in our last episode we kind of got some direction. Even though we didn't build much, we did get some direction, so we're going to start off on this morning and start putting the structures on here, but right after the coffee first. I thought I'd just bring you in just for a moment just to quickly check this out. So where to build all these pieces, and yes, there's a lot of numbers, and yes, there's a lot of pieces. I don't really know why, because especially ones like this here. It's basically 4 pieces. So let's make a start and get some of these main pieces off. We'll get the center ones in first, and then we'll put the outside ones on. So our first one is D2. There it is right there. Let's quickly just cut that off just while we're here. Just like that. And we'll get him cleaned up. So because there's so many pieces, I'm going to do this one piece at a time, but obviously I'll try and make it a bit better for the camera. Okay, let's clean that up. So there is our first piece ready to go. Now I still have the shirt mic going, but if it fails today, it's done. It will not be coming back, or will be coming back a lot less. I've been fairly happy with the volume on the videos up until now doing these, but not all of them, especially when I'm further away from the camera, which is the main reason why I got it. So I'm only putting it on one corner there at the moment because I just want to set the one corner off. I'll come back in a minute. D5 is our next piece, and D5 was that original wonky one right there. And again, we'll get him off and get him cleaned up. And just as a bit of an idea of how much it's out, there it is there. It's quite a lot. But it is plastic, and I think we'll get it, but it doesn't have just one wonk. It's like it has a wonk this way. Yeah, that was wonk. Probably a wrong word, but anyway, it is wonky, which is why I use that word. So let's go like there's that as well. So this is going to be a little, and there's another one there. So yeah, just not a pretty piece, but let's get it on there. So unfortunately for me, the wonky part is this is to go upside down, I believe, with the doors. Yeah, so the doors and the little windows, whatever they are, next to it facing down. So obviously when you flip it up, it looks that way. Yeah. So we've got to go down that way, and let's do the corner first. So let's not worry about anything else but the corner. There goes that light again. More gremlins. Don't know what's going on. So let's just do that corner, and possibly the first little bit of that straight edge. I'm going to flood that just so it sort of takes it off. Now I'm going to have to hold that till it comes off, till it goes off, so I can put the next piece on. What's going on with this light? Okay, now, so now we've got that bit on. Let's put the straight bit on as well. But of course, I don't want to glue where it's not straight. So I just want to kind of get from about there and wick it back that way. And we'll let that piece go off so we can bring this piece back around. Something like, oh, actually, we might be able to do that now. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's pretty good. Let's grab that while she's going, while the going's good. Do there, and also we'll do that straight bit now. There. And of course, I'll hang on to that again, waiting for it to go dry. Now that it's dry, let's quickly just put this piece in as well. One of those wonky pieces I was talking about is actually meant to be there. So, just there. And again, just till this one goes off. And the next piece after this is... looks like a D14. So I'll get that out after this. Well, there is our next piece off, and it was actually D7, not D14. D14 is for the structure next to it, so that's coming right up. Got those edges on there too, so we've got to make sure they line up, the corner edges. So I'll quickly put that one on. So there is that piece on. Now let's get the next one. Looks like D3, and that could finish that side off, I think. Get him out. And again, here's our D3. We'll just quickly get him off, just like that. And we'll clean him up. Rolling along nicely here this morning. So there is our piece kind of on a dry fit. And again, not a great, fantastic fit, but it is only light plastics. So I'm sure once we get this corner down, we can easily bring this one back and push him back into his corner. And this is why I left this corner off, just in case we needed the corner to go in or out, just to fix that corner up. Too many corners there. So we'll get this piece on this side over here. Let's get it glued up. It's already sitting pretty good, so let's just drop a bit of glue in there and a little bit on top. And let's do that first bit just along there. Yeah, I put a lot of glue there. Kind of wanted to flood along, so let that go off quickly. Just while we're there, that inside corner looks not bad as well. Let's just sort of flood that whole corner there. Back around, plenty of glue. Oh, look at the light go. Yeah, you're seeing it. I might have to pull that light apart and try and work that out, what's going on there. So we'll just let that one dry too, and then we'll put the last piece on. Just off camera, I glued this side along here, basically just along there, just to set that one down, so that by the time we do this, yeah, so it just wants to sort of spring a little bit. I think what we'll do, we'll just put this side back in, not worry about the corner just yet. Let's just try and do that. That's sitting pretty good. Let's hit that while we got it. Yeah, little shaky there first thing in the morning. All right, so again, we'll let that quickly dry and I'll come back. So we're now left with this corner over here. Pretty happy with that side now. Let's drop some glue there, and we're up against the corner there. Let's put some glue there and just sort of squash both of those corners in like that, and that should be the corner done. And that should be our first understructure, we're going to call this, because I do believe, make sure that's correct. Let's have a look at that side. Yeah, that's pretty good. And I call it an understructure because I think it goes something like that. Well, I hope it does, because that's the way that I read it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Are they doors? So the doors at the back, what are they, little ladders? I don't know, maybe to go through the second story. So now we've done that one, let's move on with the next one, and we'll continue on. I think we'll repeat what we just did, which is we'll start off at the end and work our way around. So we'll grab D15 this time. Okay. There's our D15, and I'm just looking at it, and I'm thinking about changing my mind about putting this one on, because even though I've got the bumper stop here, I don't really know where to put this way. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll forward and put D4 on, set the corner up, so then I can set this corner up and fold it all the way around. We'll just leave him just there for the moment, and I'm going to get D4 off as well. So there's our D4 off, and I've cleaned it up. And let's see how well it fits. It fits pretty good. Hang on a second. Okay, I just had to wait for my Google to stop there. Okay, now let's just, in the middle here, it's got a little tiny bit of movement. So I just kind of want him somewhere in the middle there. And I think while he's a good fit, let's just glue that entire piece, which is why I put so much glue on there, because I want it flooded just a little bit. And even that, just to there, and we'll kind of set that corner off. and then we can set the last corner off and the next corner as well. So kind of get the two corners in one. So I'll just come back in a minute. So of course now we can put this piece on into the right corner. Just do that, hold that there. Let's flood that just a little. Thank you. And fix that corner up. Like that. Let's double check the outside. You can't see because of the light, but it does look good. It is fairly early in the morning, and I do prefer to do these in the morning. I think the last couple episodes were done in the evening, and it did not go so smooth. I did a mic check just a minute ago. The mic's working. Let's zoom out so you can see what's... yeah, that looks pretty good, although you're not really seeing it because of the light. I think what's happened here is half the light has crapped out. That's what's happened. Let's just push that bottom corner in too. Yeah, that's it. That's nice. Now, okay, let's get back to the other side here. Let's do that very quickly. Yeah, most of that looks pretty good. I would say it's all sitting pretty good. Put my nail up against the other side. We'll just hang on to it there. Let's go to town with that. And let's go to town. Well, we did that side. It's there, there, there. So it's got plenty of glue on there. There's no doubt about that. And we'll let all that kind of go off. Just holding it down and straight up and down so it makes the next corner better. So there is our D14 off, and I don't think I can kind of hang on to that properly. Let's change hands here because I'm a righty. Let's try and do this. Yeah, we got that, just perfect. Let's put some glue on there, and let's put some just there and on top of there on the joint, just for a quick moment. That's it. And I'll finish the other bit of that because I only did the first bit, so let's do the next bit. Just there. Okay. Now I was just thinking while I was doing that last piece. Now I'm not necessarily saying this is the way you should build this ship, because I'm building it with you guys and learning this ship as I go. So I'm just trying to work it out and just sort of the camouflage, everything else. You can build the ship any which way you want. This is just the way that I think you should build the ship, or the way that I think I should build the ship to be more fair. So yeah, I don't know what you want to call that, a disclaimer or whatever. Just, yeah, I'm not telling you this is how you build it. No way. So yeah, let's get the next piece out and put that on as well. So there is our next piece. It was D6. Let's just take him off there. Yeah, that's a good fit straight off. Let's do this back corner here. It's easier for me to hold, which is the whole reason why I've done the inside first. Because according to that picture, let's try and get that in a bit more. Here we go. Got to do that lefty right thing again. Yeah, it's not really... Stay in there. Let's concentrate on that corner there. Pretty happy with that. Shouldn't need much. Can we do that corner there while we're at it? Yeah, there's a small gap there, which means I've got to push the outside corner in. So we'll just put some glue there. Let's just put some here, a little bit on top. Let's push that outside corner in. Let's get the knife and just push that corner in. That's it. It looks pretty good. Doesn't want to stay. There we go. I have to hold that for a second. Sorry, I didn't catch you in the camera. I was too busy watching the part. I'll come back in a minute. So there's no light there now, and the corner, I don't know if I can bring you up and show you the corner. Yeah, the corner's okay now. It did want to keep popping out. That's a good look. Yeah, so pretty happy with that. Just while we're here, let's finish it off. Let's do the other side. I just knocked the light. Let's just glue that piece and that piece in there. And again, I think this piece goes directly onto the floor. I had not looked that far forward, and I do believe it does sit like that. So it's like an understructure like that. And this is why I'm saying we're doing this now, because we need dark on top and we need camo, not necessarily under here because you may or may not see it, but we do want the blues and the greys under here, which is predominantly what this ship is, blue, grey and white, something like that. Well, that's what I'm going to call it. Okay, so there is our centerpiece is done. We got all these D13, 18, 16, 17. Yeah, like that's not confusing. And then we got D2 up the back here, and obviously it's repeated on this side to put all these pieces in, and they may or may not have little slots for them to go in just here. Should we get D33 off and just have a look? Hang on a second. Well, there's D33 on the sprue, and there does not look to be a locating part that does have that angle piece there, which is supposed to be there. There it is there on the drawing. So wonder what these little slots here are for. That's a good question, and I'm sure it'll come up. But there's definitely no locating lugs on any of those. So which way are we going to work this? Well, maybe let's just do what we just did and work our way back from 33 back down this way, I think. So let's get 33 off and cleaned up. Now that's interesting. It's got them kind of lugs at the back, and maybe something else goes in here and then kind of goes through there. They've definitely got a couple of lugs there. Let's get the floor. What did I do with it? Here it is over here. And let's do a bit of a dry fit and see how it goes. Okay, I can see what's happening here. On the picture, they look like little cutouts or like little slots, which is what I called them a minute ago. No, they are locating lugs for here, for that piece to go on. So it just kind of makes it a little bit easier. That makes life pretty easy. It makes it really easy. So we can just locate that like that and put this piece on. Yeah, we're just got to work out the best way for me to hang on to it and put it on now. Where are we? Something like that. Again, take your time. There's no rush. Pretty happy just there. Well, I'm happy with that. I'm going to dab that. Yeah, I did load it up. Obviously, you want it straight as well. So you end up with something just like that. Yes, that was a notification coming through. Yeah, that looks good. I'm sure there's a purpose in this. And I'm thinking when you got the rest of them on, it's kind of like a corridor into the ship, kind of giving you depth and whatever else. Yeah, it looks good. Now, that light, do we have to get a new light? There's too much shadowing going on here. But at the same time, I'm under the light, and yeah. So that's pretty good for that piece. Again, just make sure he's nice and straight. Okay, let's move on with the next one. I'll just put another light on over here, that way. And it is quite bright, but you can see there, it's very bright. But it doesn't help us with our shadowing, unfortunately, because we work down this way. And the light is up here, up there, and there's one over there, and there's one over there. There are a lot of lights here. Let's get back on with this, though. So there's our next piece, and I am cutting them off one at a time because there's a lot of them. and there could be confusing. So rather than get it all messed up, I'm just going to put it all together one piece at a time. So there's our next piece, which is D36. Can I get that piece on? So make sure I didn't knock that one. I did knock that one, I think. I'm just lining it up, give you a bit of perspective. Yeah. That's still going off because I did put plenty of glue on there. Because we don't really want that flying off later either. So I'm just lining it up square. It's not really... See, to me it's square, but on the camera it does not. Oh, there we go. There's a good view of it. So now if I don't touch that and I look at it this way, see how it now looks skew-if? Let's go back. Yeah. Just the camera's sort of playing up. Not playing up, but playing up with the views and the angles and other bits and pieces. So now let's put this one on. We've got a little burr there. Yeah, let's take that little burr off. Okay, I didn't catch the gluing of that one, but there it is on. Yeah, it's a nice fit. There's definitely a right way and a wrong way for them to go, and you've got to kind of run them along a bit and they kind of settle into where they need to go. Yeah, that is definitely a corridor of some sort. Let's see if we can get a different light. So this will add nice perspective on the ship. Again, we'll keep that one up. Now, the next ones say they kind of go together. Let's go back to the plan just for a minute. The plan's just there. Hopefully you can see it. So there's our 36. It looks like 37, 35, and 34 are all next to it, as in one piece. Can we sneak around and have a quick look at the next corner? Let's have a look. Yeah, there it is, upside down. Sorry, the right way up, the way we're doing it, and there it is the other way. Yeah, that's kind of like a corridor or something. Yeah, that looks nice. I kind of like that. So we'll continue putting the rest of that on, and I am watching the time. We are getting out of time for this episode. Well, there's our 37 on, and right that way, but I think on the next side, what I'm going to do is going to drop these on the bench, glue them all together, and then put them on, and that's what I'm going to do in the next two pieces. So I'm going to get the next two off, drop them on the bench, and then we'll come back to it and have a look. So there's our two pieces on the bench. Let's flip them over because I want to glue the back, not the fronts. The only unfortunate thing about doing this is I can't see how well they line up. We'll just quickly glue the back, not flooding that, just doing that. Hopefully, because it's on a flat surface, they should be the same. And the reason I'm doing this is when I did this one, it was a little difficult and I only glued the two ends. This one can still technically move at the end because you kind of want these nice and flat. And I just wasn't kind of getting that, and I thought, gee, with four pieces, it's going to be really difficult. So this is what I opted to do instead. So I just turned that over, and I did have to make an adjustment to suit this side, and this is the side you want to see. So yeah, let's just zoom in there. See, oh no, don't need to zoom in. I can bring it up just so you can see what I mean. It kind of looks like it goes. Now the plan is to pretty much put that on something like that. Oh, you can see it's still a little fragile. Let's straighten him back out. I might have to wait for him to dry and we'll come back. Okay, I was just mucking around with this the last few minutes and I kind of got this just where I want it, right on the locating lugs, and I've just quickly hit pause and I'm sorry, that light's gone out again. It's an LED light, so I don't really know what's going on with it. There we go. Thank you. No, change its mind. So we'll just set this piece up now. That's what I was worried about. I was worried about the other piece. I couldn't really see that. So now, before that goes off, let's kind of straighten that up and push him in. That's it. Now he's in. Let's make an adjustment there. I do know we knocked that other one over a little bit. Yeah, let's get it right that way as well. Sorry, which is that way. It's not kind of, again, it's not kind of correct in the camera view. We need to straighten that up. Yeah. Yeah, you could easily probably glue these and really let them go off nice and hard and put them up. Now, here's one thing I did notice. The cut-offs are all going to be sticking up the same way. The sprue cut-offs. Now, this is not properly glued yet, this side, so before we go any further, let's glue the join. And let's go to town on the bottom and do our final little last fiddly little piece with it. It does, it looks pretty good. We kind of want that fairly straight. Do I need to tap that light? I don't know. How good is that? That looks pretty good. I would suggest if you can do this, take your time here, just make it nice. And I think the next one, I will just lay it all down, glue them up, let them go rock hard, you know what I mean? Because this glue, even after you glue it, it's kind of soft for about 15, 20 minutes. And just to take the softness out and put this on as one, I mean, they probably could have molded that as one, but yeah. You want your models to look nice, you've got to spend the time on them. That's it. So there we are with that, and I think we're just about out of time for today on this episode. So we are a little further along. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It is slowly but surely coming together. Let's do a quick mic check. Are you on? Yeah, green light, it's on. Hopefully we've got no problems with this episode. So I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.